Hello and welcome. My name is Lorrayne Ham, and this is Living Your Best Life, the channel for starseeds, light workers, and all who are seeking to know more on the Ascension pathway. So today's subject, before I get started, please like, share, and subscribe. That helps the channel get spread far and wide and reach more people so that they can gain knowledge and information and be supported along the journey. Okay, my chair seems to be squeaking. So today's subject is a very difficult and challenging one to expand your mind into. But I think it's an important one, especially as we move into a new year, a new energy, a new dynamic. And perhaps if we can keep this in the back of our minds as we move forward, it will help detach you from the drama that is going on external of you and keep you more in the centered space that will assist you in elevating in frequencies. So recently I had a viewer ask me to explain frequency and how we can elevate our frequency. And so before I get into today's topic, I will do that. I've covered this before, but there are many ways to assist you in elevating your frequency. Things that bring you joy, that expand your heart space, laughter, art, creativity, nature, anything that brings you joy and you can stay in that frequency of joy longer will raise your frequency. And so it's not something that you need to sit and meditate, although that helps, but place yourself in something that brings you joy. So for instance, yesterday, I'm learning to grow vegetables. This is something in my area that over the last 2 years has been challenging, but it brings me great joy when I can put on the table something that I grew and I know where it came from. It is as fresh as it can possibly be. That tickles me beyond belief. So yesterday, I immersed myself in seed catalogs, going through and visualizing all these new vegetables and varieties and where I would plant them and what I would do. Now, this raises your frequency. Anytime you can lose yourself in something that truly brings you joy is raising your frequency. This puts you in the right state to be a frequency match to anything that you are desiring to attract into your world. So I hope that helps. If you have any further questions, just write them in the comments below. As you can tell, I do read them and I do try to respond. Okay, so for today's topic, now I really truly understand how difficult and challenging this concept may be. However, if we truly believe that we are all one, and I have evidence of this in my own experience, you will need to discover the evidence in your life for yourself. If we are all one, then that means that even those that we perceive as behaving in an evil way are all part of the one. Let me say this again. If we are all one, that means everyone no matter how in opposition to you and your beliefs, we are all one. We are looking into the eyes of Source, even into the eyes of those that we would call or label sociopaths. Okay, let me expand on this. So, what if there were souls that had soul contracts that required them to incarnate into this experience in this time-space reality, and their soul contract was to be as opposite to the divine nature that they truly are, that they could possibly be. Now remember, this is not conscious. We all come through the veils of forgetfulness. We all arrive here without conscious foreknowledge. So if their soul contract was to come be this extreme opposition so that we could all expand and grow beyond our current limitations, imagine what soul sacrifice that would be. Imagine what gift for humanity that would be. Think back to how you have developed and grown and expanded in frequency and consciousness into the light. What were the drivers that caused you to do that? Was it perhaps this extreme opposition of control and manipulation? Maybe these people are here as divine conduits of light in an extreme opposition to force all of humanity into the Great Awakening, into this Ascension gateway. Let that sink in. Think about that. Ponder that concept, because for me, I recognize and I see, even in those that are deemed evil, I still see Source, Yahweh, God, the divine. I see the divine acting out in every aspect of our reality. It's a difficult thing to expand into, and yet from everything that I have learned, trained into, received as knowledge from my higher self, from my divine self, I recognize this as truth. Now, does that mean that we condone what they're doing? No, absolutely not. Does that mean that their soul will escape whatever punishment that comes from this? Absolutely not. And here's the thing. The punishment that we receive as karmic debt, we punish ourselves. These souls are in extreme agony. Now, what does that mean we do? Does that mean we forgive, condone, release? I don't know. I, for one, know that forgiveness is not for any other external person. Forgiveness is only for yourself. You forgive, meaning you give up. You forgive to God, to Source, the divine. You release yourself from the pain and trauma and looping story so that you no longer are held hostage by it. Forgiveness has nothing to do with the other person. So yes, we forgive them for what they're doing because we don't want to hold on to it. We don't want to keep recreating it in our reality. Remember, we're the creators. We're projecting the reality out. So if we all just recognized that everything that is happening as it unfolds, and more will be unfolding through this year of 2022, although in a different form, in a different manner, in a different way, if we can see it all as a mechanism to assist those that have not yet awakened to awaken, we're all ascending. Some will ascend to the higher realms, to the higher frequencies. Some individualizations, souls, have completed their cycle of incarnation. They are choosing to move into pure energy form. Others are choosing to move into another expression, but at a higher level. Not higher in better than, just frequency elevation. And some souls have found this 3D, 4D experience exhilarating, and they're choosing on a soul level to repeat this cycle. None of them are wrong and none of them are right. They're just individual expressions of the divine making a choice to expand, grow, experience, play. Honestly, this truly is a stage and we are players upon it. So some individual expressions of the divine find this extreme drama fun. We all know there are some people that go to horror movies because they find those enjoyable. I, for one, don't like to have those visuals. I'm affected by the visual experience of it, and I don't want to keep manifesting that. I don't want to manifest that into my reality. But some people do. Some people find this fun, whether consciously or unconsciously, they're choosing it. Some people choose lives of quiet contemplation, isolation, and deep forest bathing to be the most beneficial for them. We, as individual expressions of the divine one, all get to choose how much we want to participate in the game. I find this incredibly exhilarating, actually, to know, to contemplate, to deeply experience, because I have developed ways to move myself, my consciousness, my beingness into other experiences and live those experiences. And we can all do this. It just takes focus, intent, and concentration. None of what we are seeing, no matter how oppressive, no matter how evil we perceive it, no matter how manipulative or controlling, no matter what experience we move through, all of these experiences are, in a greater way, expanding us into new ways of being and creating a desire within us to launch, as Abraham Hicks says, rockets of desire in the opposite direction. I encourage you to play with this concept, to see how far you can expand your awareness, to see how much you can wrap your consciousness around this idea. And the next time you see, feel, sense, or know something that is in opposition, give thanks for this showing a way to expand even more. Thank you for joining me. My name is Lorrayne. This is Living Your Best Life. Until next time.